Yes.
Okay, well, praise the Lord. Hallelujah. And thank you, Jesus. It's around that time right here on KAZ Radio, where I have one of my most favorite shows, Sisters of Leisure with Tracey and Michele. Take it away, sisters.
Hello, everybody. We are so grateful to see you today. I know it's a holiday weekend. Everybody's enjoying their family and friends and eating some good macaroni and cheese and all that good stuff too. But anyway, we're here today. I'm Tracey. And I'm one part of Sisters of Leisure where we are seeking every day and understanding real events. Sorry for the pause.
And I am Michele, the little sister.
And today we just have some wonderful sponsors. We have One and One Clothing. This person is on Instagram. And the wonderful thing about this gentleman, he makes t-shirts and he customized t-shirts just for you, favor over fear. And he was inspired by Hebrews 11:1, which says, now faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And that is just a beautiful thing that we can hope for something, not even worry about, because in God's hands, we know the job is going to be done and complete. And we also have another wonderful sponsor. Her name is Just Bliss .bio, and she's on Instagram and she does journals and she loves textures. As you can see, this is a journal I have written in mine. Is secret, you can't see it, but anyway, she does journals. She's inspired by textures and cloths and beautiful art, and actually she's an art major, so she is just really amazing. This is a bookmark, and she also does t-shirts as well, and she is just so artsy, and you would love her product. So please follow these people. 11 and 1 Clothing on Instagram, as well as Just Bliss Bio. And with further ado, we just have an amazing young lady on our show today. Her name is Janae Simmons, and she's the owner of Journey to 100 Credit Consultant. And I just happened to just run across this young lady. And when I say she was giving out so much knowledge, I was so intrigued by her. I was like, I think that same day, I messaged her because I was just like, wow, she is so knowledgeable in credit. And that's something that we all need to know and understand. So, Lene, thank you for being on our show today. We really, really appreciate you. And we just want to know, why is it so important to keep that credit right?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you, Tracey and Michele, for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Again, my name is Lene of Journey to 800 Credit Consultants. One of the biggest things for me is a lot of times, when it comes to credit, we just don't know what we don't know. And what I decided to do is I decided to bridge the gap between low income Black and brown families who struggled with having an understanding of financial literacy and credit worthiness. And we don't realize how important credit is until we want those big purchases. We want those nice houses. We want those nice cars, even small things like light bills. You have to have deposits for those things, rental cars. So it's just important for me to go into homes of people that look like me and look like us and educate them about why credit is important and what they can do to make sure their financial pathway is successful.
I think that's good.
So you know what? I have been looking forward to this all week because when I say my credit, I was on a struggle bus when it came to credit, and I just did not know. You are so right. You don't know what you don't know. Yes. And credit is really like a lifeline.
It surely is. One of the most important things people think is, even me being a credit specialist, I've been in the business since 2017, owning my own credit repair company. My score right now, I can look at it today, it's down 5 points. I can look at it tomorrow, it's up 10 points. Credit is ever changing. And, people get so set on, I want this score, when it's so much more to building great credit. And it's about a profile, and it's a lifelong process and a lifelong commitment. So just like you said, you just really don't know how important credit is until you need that line of credit, or you run into that situation where you need that loan. And you're like, dog, I could have done this a long time ago. So yes, absolutely.
You know, me, I invested my credit so many times, but I'm just saying, one thing I noticed about having bad credit, you're charged more fees when you do have bad credit. Like if you're, like you say, you got to have deposits for this and deposits for that. So it's like you're paying more.
Yeah. Yep. And that's similar to me. In college, I had my daughter when I was 22. And I didn't have a car. I was literally pushing a stroller, putting groceries in the bottom of the stroller, walking to and from my college apartment for the first year. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to fix my credit. So I reached out to somebody regarding credit and she told me $1,500. And I was like, well, you know, I don't have that. So what else can we do? So I got on Google, Dr. Google. I'm researching ways to build credit. I'm YouTubing. I purchased so many books on Amazon and probably finished one. And I was like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. I finally got approved for a car. The interest rate on this car, I'm so ashamed. It was 19%. And I'm just thinking like, wow, I have a car. You know, he's like, it'll be 19% interest. You'll be paying on the car for 6 years. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. Sign my name on the dotted line. I didn't realize until about a month later, the car, I'm on Interstate 20 and it just stops. And I'm like, uh-oh, what we gonna do? So I get the car towed and they tell me how much money it is. Instantly, you know, I'm like, well, let me see. They were offering like a line of credit through the mechanic shop. Got denied. Reached out to family. Hey, can anybody co-sign and get this for me? And just like I would be today, knowing what I know, nobody was willing to do it. So I got stuck with that car loan, of course, because, you know, even though they sold me the car and, you know, in the state of Georgia, when it's sold as is, there's no getting that back. So I got stuck with not only the repossession, I was back to no car. So that's one of the biggest things, that 18% interest. Imagine being upside down on the loan. I literally had to pay $100 a month until I was able to pay off the remaining balance on the car. And I didn't realize most of those payments were interest payments, all because I didn't have good credit. And it's just such a shame. And of course, I can't say that they're taking advantage of us. We just didn't ask questions. I didn't ask questions. I was just excited to have a car. I didn't know what that 18% interest or that 6-year loan would look like. So that's one of the things that I change. I do, you know, courses in churches. I go into Bible studies and I do credit courses, women's organizations, and do credit courses. I'm actually trying to partner with some local charities to do credit courses, go into the foster care system for those kids that are aging out, do credit courses. Good. So it's time to make a change. There's so many resources available when you have good credit or when you're credit worthy. And I'm just here to, you know, I'm here to help everybody get there.
You know, I mean, when I say I'm hoping, I'm praying that this show we gonna hit 1 million, a million views, because this is so important. This is I really think they need to teach credit in school.
Yes,
because when I say like all the things I learned in math, I can, you know, adding and subtracting, multiplication and division, you know, I get that. But credit, I don't know if that should be part of math or if that should be part of social. I don't know, a home economics, something. But credit is so important. It was like I didn't even know there was such a thing. You know, like I just knew that when I went to college, I swear to you, there was like these bags they gave us. And in those bags, it was all these credit card applications. Okay. And I got them.
Yep.
But I could not pay them.
Exactly. You're not the only one. You and I both. I actually started in 2019 a junior and senior program, so Rising Junior, Rising Senior program, along with their parents. You know, most of the time the focus is on the parents because many of us don't even know. I added my 5-year, well, she's 6 now, but at the time when she was 5, I added her to a credit card. So now when she turns 18, she already has that built-in credit age just from being on my card. And of course, making sure I pay the card on time and keep a low balance. I started educating her on the process. So what I did was, a 6-year-old, their attention, it's gone. But what I realized with my rising juniors and seniors is it was an opportunity for me to teach them something and make it interactive. So what I started doing was I started setting it up like a store. I love to shop. And I know a lot of my teens, they don't really know what money means, but they know how to spend it. So I decided to set up a shop. You get a budget. And whatever you don't have, you can get it on credit. But it's based upon how you paid your bills on time. And they're always, spending. And they're like, oh, Miss Lene, I don't have nothing but $10. Well, I'm sorry, this item was $500. You can't get it, but we can see if you're credit eligible. Run that line of credit, based on how responsible they've been. And that makes it more, educational, but fun for the children. And so that's something that I'm really trying to push this summer. I normally try and do it in July, right before they get back into school. Want to do it before the end of the school year, because I want those parents to understand you could add your child to that card today. But the issue is how many parents actually have good credit to do something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that is a wonderful way to start teaching these children that, because like you said, a lot of parents don't have good credit themselves, so it's like you're teaching the kids, but you're also teaching the parents at the same time.
Yeah. Because you know what? I have, I know a few people, and one young lady in particular, she told me that her parent use her credit, like her social security, for something. And then now she was an adult and she couldn't get I think it was something like electricity or cable, something. She had this bill lagging in her name. And then she, not only when she get it paid off, she had to pay this huge deposit because instead of helping, bless her mom's heart, I'm sure she just didn't do it just cause. I hope not. But, I think that, she was in a situation where she seen an opportunity to get this bill in her name, and thought that she would be able to take care of it. But now this is an adult woman trying to become, and now she's like, wait a minute, hold on, I can't do anything because I have something in my name. And so it's so good that we're trying to reverse that. Let's have our children have a come up with credit and not try to go get their apartment and find out that when she was 10, she had a dang on washing machine.
Exactly. Believe it or not, that's such a common story. The light bills, the cable bills, and you don't even know it, but that's another thing. Checking your credit reports. We don't actually check our credit reports. Just like you log on to Facebook, log on to Instagram, log on to Twitter, you should be logging onto those credit monitoring systems, making sure that not only, maybe a parent, which like I said, is very common, have used your name for a utility bill, but making sure that nobody else has fraudulently used your social security information, your personal information to apply for lines of credit. And what'll happen is, you'll get denied for something. And now you want to run and check your credit report to say, well, doggone, what's going on? Let me take a look at it. And when you finally log onto that app, you're like, wait, this isn't me. And now you have to go through that process of cleaning it up. A lot of people, I encourage, if you don't use your credit often like me, I don't use my credit often. I'm not applying for a lot of lines of credit. You can put a freeze on it with all 3 credit bureaus. You can put a temporary freeze, which of course can be lifted on your credit reports. That way nobody has access to use it. Of course, when we're children, we're expecting our parents to, do the right thing and not use that information. But if they have, there's always a resolution. My mom, she did it with Georgia Power. I love her to death. She did it with Georgia Power to me. And she didn't know better. She just knew that we needed lights, and she knew that she couldn't get them in her name because she owed them money previously. So she decided that she was going to do it. I blame Georgia Power because at what point were you going to verify that wasn't her social? At what point were you going to verify that wasn't her information? At the time, I was 4 years old. A 4-year-old had a Georgia Power bill in their name. that part of the system's broken, that they're even able to do that. So when I started credit repair, I was like, yeah, this will be a great way to bring in some extra income. And what I realized is it was a lot of people my age, it was a lot of us millennials, and we just couldn't afford credit repair. So I started getting on Facebook to whoever would listen, and I started doing free credit talks every week. You wouldn't believe 1 to 2 people viewing it, but 1 million inboxes. I'll send them the link. Go back and watch this video. I just talked about exactly what you needed and gave it away for free. Everybody thought I was crazy. You know how much money you can make, but I just felt led to give the information away. It's there already. It's already on the internet. It's accessible to us. But again, we don't want to take the time to seek that knowledge, seek that information. So I decided to use my platform. Whether you listened or not, I was going to send information. And then what started happening is some people started watching. They started watching and they wanted to, hey, what can I do? What can I do? Which is how I eventually evolved into where I was doing it for you. Now the burden of responsibility is on you. I teach you how to do it, So I moved away from, you can pay me a fee and I'll do all the work for you. But the thing is, you teach a man to fish, you can fish for a lifetime. So instead of doing it for you and just saying, here's your clean credit, don't mess it up, be responsible. What's the chance that they're actually not going to make those mistakes if they don't know those mistakes, if they don't know what to do to keep that credit intact? So now I teach people how to repair their credit. That way, the knowledge that I provide, I leave a paper trail behind. You're getting text with definitions, so you can pass that information along to your family members, your children, your coworkers. So that's pretty much what I'm doing now, giving them something in black and white to where it's like, well, she fixed my credit. I don't know what she did, but it worked. No, let me show you what I did. Here's a book. Go to page 6 of that book. I describe in detail to you exactly why this affected your credit. And that's what, to me, is the most important thing. I can do something for you, or I can educate you. So I've solely been focusing on the education piece. And it's great, a great turnaround. I've had about 250 homeowners since 2017 to get into first-time home buyers, first generation home buyers. And it's just been so amazing to see. And then just to see them post in the morning, hey, here's a credit tip. Now I see them doing it. I'm like, yes. So it's just been wonderful. And I do it completely free. There are some things that I charge for, but for the most part, you can literally message me a paragraph of what's going on in your life. And I'm like, well, listen, sis, here's what you have, and I'm ready to help, because I just wish there was somebody to do that same thing for me and my sibling. So it's just about changing the tone, changing the narrative.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful, because because when I say probably, I want to say 2017, 17 for me is when I decided to pay that $1,500.
Yeah.
And have somebody, correct my credit. And it was still, to me, not, it was done and all these, things were cleared up or whatever, but I still didn't have that, like you said, that knowledge or what to do, because I would check my credit. And like you said, I'm up 15 points. I'm down 21. I'm like, it played with my emotions. It got to me. I was like, what the heck is happening here? And then I had to go to YouTube. I call it YouTube University.
That's right.
And really learn the steps on what to take, because it was really a struggle for me. I'm thinking, well, I did all this stuff and I'm still having to deal with things, judgments on my credit. And I still have things like the age of my credit. I didn't even know the age of your credit card.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So, one thing that we stand by and what I tell everybody is credit is a journey, not a destination. So on this credit journey, there's going to be some highs, there's going to be some lows. You're going to be excited when you see your score get to that 700. And I want that same excitement when you get down to 6. It changes. One of the things that my mentor taught me is, they tell you that your credit is not based on demographic, age, sex, all of those things, but it's absolutely not true. If you were to go to Google and type in the average average credit score for your zip code. Me, I live off of Metropolitan Parkway in the inner city of Atlanta. The average credit for my zip code is a 458.
What?
So what happens is when I start going into these community, breaking up those stigmas, changing the statistics and educating you about credit, now the credit bureaus are like, wait, the average credit score is changing in these demographics. Now we have to figure out where to bucket these people and where to place them with their credit scores, because typically people in this community would have this score. Now these people were exceeding these expectations and standards and statistics that were previously set. And that's why you notice those changes in your scores, because they're rebucketing you and placing you with people with similar profiles. That's like if me and Tracey, we're both 38 years old. We both started building our credit, 20 years ago. She has 4 credit cards. I have 4 credit cards. Our scores are going to be similar. But what happens is that 21-year-old comes into the game, well-educated about credit. They live in the same demographic as us. They're like, wait a minute, this 38-year-old is here and this 21-year-old is breaking barriers. We have to figure out where to place them. And that's where the constant fluctuation in the scores come from. As you mentioned, with the actual credit age, that's a big part of your score. But one of the most important things you can do is you're able to maintain payment history. Payment history is 35% of your score. Yeah. Credit utilization is 30%. That's 65%. More than half of your score is based off of you being responsible and paying your bills on time. We control the upper half of that. Yeah. So one of the biggest things is you owe Capital One, but you're ducking and dodging Capital One's call. I don't got no money for you. I'm not answering the phone. You didn't know that Capital One actually offers insurance if you temporarily lose your job, you fall ill, you fall behind a payment, to where they're willing to work with you. But we're so used to ducking and dodging on bill collectors when we don't have the money. We don't even know that those resources are available to us. So now we get that 30-day late payment. The pandemic happened so often, the 60-day payment, the 90-day payment, 20 points every late payment, sometimes more. So just simply knowing that those resources are available, to help with the largest part of your score, again, 65%, payment history and credit utilization. Most of us miss the 30% with credit utilization because we aren't even eligible for a credit card.
So we know, I'm sorry, Tracey.
No, go ahead. I'm just listening. I'm just trying to take all this in because I know.
Because when I say passionate, I mean, for real, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the whole situation. We need to know.
We do. And I knew Lene was the perfect person to share this information because she has so much knowledge, so I just appreciate it.
We're gonna have to figure something out, like quarterly or something.
Yes.
You to kind of come and just keep us abreast on because someone is going to catch this. Yes. Someone has to catch what you put down today. Yes. Because it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous because like you said, I even look at my neighborhood in the area where we live, home ownership, things like that. It's has to stop. So many, like those vehicles. I'm guilty. I've had a vehicle. I think I probably was only paying like $12 towards the principal.
Wow. So common. Yeah. It happens so often. It's so frustrating. And I'm going through a similar situation with my brother. Repaired his credit. My brother's 26. Repaired his credit. I said, you're only going to get your credit repaired once. This is your freebie. I'm going to do it one time. And after that, you're responsible for it. So now he's in the process of trying to get him a Challenger. He wants that fast car. He went to the dealership. They told him, you need a cosigner. I'm like, oh, no, you don't. You don't need a cosigner at all. Let me take a look. He decided he was going to apply for that credit card offer. That one they send you in the mail from Walmart telling you can get that credit card. He hasn't paid it since December. Yeah, you went from a 780 to a 526. You definitely need a cosigner. And it's not going to be me. Because if you were able to take out a credit card and he knows better and you didn't have the money, and you decided you weren't going to pay it, now you need a cosigner. Who's willing to take that risk?
Yeah.
Any late pay, once you become a co-signer, more than likely, because I have the better credit, I'm going to be the main party on the loan. So if anything were to happen, each late payment, that affects my score. If the car gets repossessed, that affects my score. So it's so frustrating sometimes, just because we know better, but we don't always make the right decisions. But like I tell people, bad credit, it's not the end of the world. I'm telling you. I was able to, when I started rebuilding my credit, I was able to get approved for a $4,000 mattress firm, a $4,800 rooms to go, and a Discover credit card, all within a 3-month period with a 590. But the reason why my score was a 590 is because once you start the repair phase, you're eliminating all your old debt, credit age. So if I had that Georgia Power bill that my mom opened up when I was 4, my older line of credit would be that. Once you actually delete that, now it readjusts to whatever your most recent credit card is. So when you start to repair, your score actually doesn't always increase. That's where credit building and the rebuilding phase is important. So it's just so many good, valuable things to learn about credit, and understanding that you can have a strong 590 and a very weak 760. I've seen people get denied with a 760 because they just didn't have anything on their profile. What those people did was they got added to somebody else's credit card, and that was literally all they had. You know, how can I prove that I want to give you a loan for $25,000 when you've had this credit that you were added onto for 3 months, and I'm just supposed to trust you with my $25,000 and ensure that you're going to pay your bills on time? So you can rebuild your credit, and I promise it's okay. So I would definitely love to do a segment, whenever you'd like to have me back. I am open to doing it. We can do like some seminars where you can get your own reports, and we can do a little boot camp with your reports, and we go through and write letters. I've done that too. Just did a webinar. I said, get your credit reports ready. I had over 76 people sign up, only 4 people joined. And we literally, we did the dispute letters for all 4 of those people in an hour. Wow. Everybody had dispute letters, and all they had to do was print and mail them. So I'm definitely willing, to do that. Love to.
Well, we are so happy to hear you and hear all the great information that you have to say. We don't have all that much time to finish, but we are definitely going to have you back on the show, because I think a lot of people need to hear this. They need to understand that credit is so important. You want things, but you can't get them because your credit is not where it needs to be. So Janae Simmons, if you are on Facebook, is it Janae Simmons on Facebook?
Yes. So my personal Facebook is Janae Simmons. That's LANAE Simmons, SIMMONS. My business Facebook page is Journey 2800, and so it's Journey TO800 Credit Consultants on Facebook. Our Instagram is The Journey 2800. If you'd like to schedule a free consultation, you can actually do so via my website, which is journey2800.com. Or if you'd like to give me a call, you're more than welcome to. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give me a call, 888-632-9548. I do 30-minute free consultations. You can ask me 1,001 questions, and I'll answer every single one to the best of my ability.
Yeah. That's a blessing. And whoever is out here, the millions of people that are watching right now, because she dropping mad gems.
Yes.
Contact her, because this is, it's a done deal. Like we in 2021, no more bad credit, no more excuses. We doing it. We know someone, Janae Simmons, who just told you how to get in contact with her. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for even gracing us with your presence, because we needed it. Our community needs it, like you said, So that's
huge. Thank you, ladies, for having me. It's been my pleasure.
Yes, absolutely. We're so excited. We're so excited for all the people that are going to contact you so they can get on the right track. People, it's so important. Me and my sister work together. We talk about our credit all the time, what we need to do. This is our conversation, because we are really trying to do better. And I think it's so important to do better so you could do better for the next generation of your family. So we appreciate you, Lanae. I can't wait to have you back.
Thank you, ladies.
You'll be hearing from us.
Sounds good.
Yes, and we just appreciate all of our audience that comes to watch us every week, every 2 weeks. And we appreciate you all because we are going to normalize Black-owned businesses because we have so much to give. We have a lot to give. There's a lot of gifts and talents in the Black and Brown community. So we just love you all. And I hope y'all have an amazing, amazing Memorial Day. And I hope y'all can swim because it was a little chilly today, but hopefully tomorrow the pool will be open. You can swim and just have lots of fun with your family and friends. And we just love you all so very much. And we're going to definitely continue giving you some more information on personal credit. Please follow Lanae, and we love you guys. Have a good one.